Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, welcome to the channel C Chronicles here. I post fragrance related content on this platform and would very much appreciate you subscribing if you're not yet subscribed and joining the family. To those who are returning, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate the support. There are some fragrances that I came with here a couple of months ago, and I said if I get or when I get the real thing, I will then come and give you a conclusive review as to whether or not you are missing out, whether they are offside or whether they nailed it. Okay, so the first one's going to be Latafa Mushabia. This is a fragrance that I was impressed with offset when I got it, or when I sprayed it actually for the very first time. I sprayed this one at the Latafa booth, and I could, immediately tell that this was a profile that I liked. I had no idea that it draws inspiration of Killian Smoking Hot. I just want to give you my thoughts, or my final thoughts, guys, on this fragrance, but I'm also going to give an honorable mention to French Avenue's Veneno to help those who may want to purchase one or both or the three of them. Okay, so Veneno, the black one, which is this, let me see if I can give you a close-up, which is this. Okay, so that is Veneno, the black one, by French Avenue, also draws inspiration of Killian Smoking Hot. And then Mushabia I have in full size, and then this is the vial. To those who've been following me for a while, you know that I do absolutely love my Killian fragrances, and I do have a couple of them in their original formulations in my collection, but I will tell you why I will not be adding Smoking Hot in my collection. Okay, so this is just a tester that was thrown in with my purchase of Woman in Gold. They threw this one. They also threw Good Girl Gone Bad. I'm going to show you in a bit. Anyway, we're here to talk about this, guys. This Mushabia, in comparison with Killian Smoking Hot, which I am going to spray on my arm, but I tested this, guys, is a fragrance that is going to be very hard to tell, especially, if you're wearing it. The people around you will probably not be able to tell, this apart from the clone, which is this Mushabia. The original formulation lists the notes of fumes, which is going to be that smoke, and Latafa's Mushabia also has the smoke. So it says fumes, and then it says intoxicating hookah, which you are to expect that apple shisha in the original formulation, and then it says tobacco absolute vanilla, okay, and hookah flavor. So yes, this is going to be a formulation that highlights, that light smoky accord of the hookah, which is the Smoking Hot. Let me just make sure I put it back and hold it on the right side while I hold this one on the other side, so that you guys don't. This presents the hookah, the shisha, the tobacco, the sweetness, the vanilla absolute and stuff, but in a gentle manner where it's not aggressive. It's not a pushy fragrance. Everything is fused there without anything being pushy. For instance, I wouldn't say this is a vividly tobacco fragrance. I would also not say this is a vividly smoky fragrance. In fact, some of you guys might find that you cannot even smell the smoke. It presents everything lightly in that regard, and the lasting power for this is also great. I wore it. Yes, this is a sample, but I did promise that I was going to bring a video of this nature to tell you whether you're missing out, whether you just still want to stick to the real thing, or what my conclusions will be. Now, Mushabia, on the other hand, lists a lot more fruits there that they have put there under apple shisha. It's also going to have dates, and it's going to have the tobacco and the cinnamon. In this, guys, I get a sweet and spicy woody scent. This also lists oud smoke. Okay, so in this they didn't just say fumes or just smoke. They went on to add that this one has oud. But guys, to the nose, these are very very hard to tell apart. They vibe the same. This one kind of somehow highlighting a little bit of that cinnamon and the dates, but the note of dates, as a note in fragrances, does have a tendency to come across as waxy, where some people will not even be able to tell, that there is a note of date here, where to some noses is going to come across as syrupy, even honey-like. That is what I get in this, and it presents the notes in here here, just as this one does, where you cannot say this is a distinctly tobacco fragrance. You cannot say this is distinctly spicy, but there's going to be a tease of everything, okay? And of course, that apple shisha accord being the star of the show in bold. So if you were wondering, guys, what became of this, honestly speaking, this is scary actually, for a clone to perform and interpret a fragrance like this. Yes, you will be able, of course, to perceive the differences if you stick your nose hard enough, but how many people do that? And the people that you are going to interact with that are going to smell this fragrance from you will possibly not be able to tell these two apart. That I can say for a fact. So yes, guys, Mushabia is a good presentation of Kilian Smoking Hot. And I like how Latafa was able to interpret everything moderately, because sometimes when it comes to the Middle Eastern fragrance houses, they tend to then give us an overdose off, you know, and then becoming too much of a good thing, and sometimes trying to overemphasize a certain thing. This one does not. This one stays in check. That oud, don't worry about that. It doesn't come across as prominently oudy. In terms of lasting power, I would say I got a little bit of a stretch, you know, from Smoking Hot. There is a piercing accord in this, and it is that piercing accord. I don't know whether it's the hookah flavor that interprets as a little bit piercing. I was able to get a little bit of a stretch when it comes to this, but honestly speaking, to the nose, it's not going to be that. Now, remember I showed you Veneno, and why I showed you Veneno Black, okay, from the House of Fragrance World, is I just wanted to also give you my conclusion as to the three, because when I came with Veneno Black, I said, I am going to test it out and see if I really am missing anything out. And in this, guys, you are going to get a presentation, of course, of that Smoking Hot. Absolutely. But this, to my nose, is heightened on the apple. It brings about, or brings out, distinct fruitiness there that is crisp as well, but with a sweetness to it. So this one puts more emphasis on the apple in itself. It's more like a brightened apple, where if you wore this fragrance, a lot of people will be able to pick that you are wearing an apple forward scent. So this becomes a sweet apple with, of course, that cinnamon for the spices, a little bit of the tobacco, that vanilla, that sort of thing. This Veneno, to me, comes across as perhaps a more laid back and more fun take to this. Not that this is not a fun fragrance. This is absolutely a fun fragrance, but this kind of, you know, switches up a little bit there in terms of, you know, how sweet it is and how happy it is, how summery it is, how, of course, it has the spices, but it's able to highlight the apples. So in conclusion, Smoking Hot, absolutely love, no pun intended to the creation, but Latafa nailed it, okay, on this Mushabia. This is so good, you'd hardly be able to tell the differences unless, of course, you dig your nose in. Now, Latafa Mushabia versus Veneno, okay, when it comes to these two, had I not done things back to front, I would have put my money on Veneno, okay, by French Avenue. But unfortunately, I bought this one in full size, and I have this one as a tester. And for me to add it to my collection regardless, because Veneno, the black one by French Avenue, is on the affordable side. But I'm not going to add it to my collection for the sake of adding it to my collection. Although, of the two, I prefer this one. But as of matching what Smoking Hot is doing, Mushabia nails it. This one heightens the apple. This I would have added if I didn't have this. So that is my conclusion on that. Let me just show you two honorable mentions of some of the clones that I have in my collection that I'll say are scarily close, okay? I have come to you with Artisan Ethnique before, from the House of Latafa, which is a fragrance that draws inspiration of that Sugar Addict, okay? This is Sugar Addict, guys, by Born to Stand Out. I love this fragrance. I think I've put it on my top 10. I think I've put it on my, if I lost my entire collection, what would I start with? This particular fragrance. This is another one that doesn't joke when it comes to what it's doing. And it really shows, you know, how Latafa has revolved as a house to in ensuring that they do their best in giving fragrances that are affordable, but also a true representation of what they're going for. This is going to give you a boozy, this particular one and this one, okay, because they kind of vibe the same to me. This is going to give you a sweetened, boozy, woody, spicy scent with a caramel that is really vivid, and a cacao and a coffee note, but both do not highlight the coffee to the point of crossing over to making them coffee scents. But why the two I here are, as I said in the first one, I would rather say I had the money, spend the same coins I would spend in purchasing this particular one in another fragrance than just purchasing it regardless, because this really does do justice to sugar addicts. Both of them are going to be beautiful fragrances, you know, with that spicy tone of woody tone, very vivid cinnamon there, a little bit of some tonka, very long lasting as well. So these two again smell very similar to an extent that it's really up to you whether you are going to buy one or the other. On our list, and this is because in my Killian purchase they threw in Good Girl Gone Bad. Okay, they threw in this one. In as much as I don't like this fragrance, some people actually absolutely love this fragrance. So Good Girl Gone Bad, to me, the original formulation is a sweet, it's a sweet and sour. It still gives me sweet and sour, you know, florals there. And I have often come with this one as an alternative, which is Kismet for Women. If I do not come with this one, I often come to you with Zimaya a la Rosé, okay, being inspired by Good Girl Gone Bad. I will still stand by, you know, those sentiments that yes, it does both represent Good Girl Gone Bad, really good. The only thing that I will say is a little bit offish when it comes to the two clones that I have in my collection is how they interpret the intensity of the florals. In Good Girl Gone Bad, the florals are not really as sharp as the florals that I get in this one. This is a DNA that in its original formulation and in the clone I really do not like, okay. It does have beautiful notes listed there, which is the apricot, the rose, and the white florals, but it is a creation that was done so niche to an extent that I don't like it that much. I do, however, have a fragrance in my collection from the House of Killian that I added in full size that kind of feels like this, but has the florals a little bit more creamier there, which is that Voulez-vous coucher avec moi. So the Good Girl Gone Bad, guys, is certainly a fragrance that if you wanted just a mental shortcut of what it's going to vibe like, you could purchase this. But this is not a true 100% representation. There is a little bit of some intensity in what goes on with the real thing, and the florals kind of communicate a little bit louder in this than this. So this is, to me, yes, going to give you 50% representation, but this is the sort of fragrance or DNA that if you absolutely love, you could save up to buy the real thing. So yeah, guys, that is what I just wanted to clue you up on today. This is a follow-up video to some of the fragrances that I've come with here before, telling you my thoughts on them, and I just thought, okay, since now I do have the original formulations or testers within my collection, I can just give you my thoughts there, share them with you, then you can make the decision whether you need them or you do not. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section, guys, where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications, that way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.